by the end of the year, there's like a good 20 songs that I was like, yeah, I probably would have sung this on Glee.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Wow, it's been a month of Sundays since we've had Darren and Criss on the show. Hi, Darren.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, baby.
He
Hey,
said
baby
he's
girl.
never been in this room.
I've never been in this room ever. This
It's
is
so
crazy. You guys moved uptown. You're uptown gals now.
We are.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
are.
can you believe it?
And, of course, he almost went to the old studios downtown. I'm glad we detoured you to the proper
I'm a
studio.
downtown boy hanging out with uptown girls. That's my that's my thing. Yeah. Hey, guys.
So much to talk about.
So much. We haven't. I mean, look. Last time I haven't seen you in person for I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years because you've been on a screen or wallowing away in your palace in Santa Fe while you
What are you talking
while you
about?
zoom in. Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Stop it. Stop looking at yourself on the screen.
I'm just making sure that you don't look as. Oh, good. Your face is covered by a mic. Okay, cool.
I look like hammered hell. Okay, so Darren. Okay, let's get to
Look all
business. Okay,
fuzzy.
stop looking at yourself.
I'm making sure. Listen, radio ain't radio anymore. It's basically TV. I gotta
Yeah.
look cool.
Close up.
Yeah, this is it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh
there you go.
no.
There's
You
your-
look good. You look
Lord.
good.
Okay.
Get that water bottle. Okay, so Darren Criss is here.
Here we are, yes.
Let's reframe the
Yes.
conversation.
Oh, right, we're
we
live.
we have business to talk about.
Yes.
Elsie Fest is back. You haven't had Elsie Fest since 21, I believe.
Yeah, 2021. We're back.
And how can you top that one? You could have ended it there, and it would have been that was just great because that was an amazing show.
God, you're sweet. For those of you who are listening that don't know, Elsie Fest this is something that I feel like has become an Elvis Duran show tradition. Every time we started the show in 2015. It's crazy, I know. What's a couple years amongst
Explain to
friends?
everyone listening, because we have people in Miami and Philly. They're like, "What is Elsie Fest?"
I think the closest comparison, I mean, because we're at the iHeart family table right now, the closest comparison is it's sort of like an iHeart lineup in the way that iHeart Music Festival has this sort of like all killer, no filler, a bunch of people from a certain genre or world. In this case, Elsie Fest is a collection of Broadway-inspired artists. So that's people from obviously from the stage, but screen and music and comedy, people that have some sort of connection to Broadway. That is sort of like a super lineup, kind of one night only thing of, I don't know, everybody that, if you love Broadway and the Broadway ecosystem, then we have people from that performing.
I love Elsie Fest because these are the performers that play these gigantic and fun and great and serious roles in shows on Broadway and off Broadway. Elsie Fest gives them an opportunity to come out and just kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
They can sing their own songs.
Yeah,
and
exactly. And also for audience members, Broadway tickets, they ain't cheap, man. And that's like its own problem, its own conversation that we could go on forever. But if you're going to see, I don't know, like certain, your favorite divas at Carnegie Hall, it's going to be its own concert, but you got to get sort of a dressed up nature to it. Whereas Elsie is, you can let your hair down. It's an outdoor music festival, so you can like drink and be rowdy and sing along to a degree that, if we're at a piano bar and we're singing our favorite show tunes, that rowdiness is encouraged and allowed, as opposed to if you go to Broadway theater, there's kind of this nature, but the enthusiasm is the same. So that's what Elsie Fest is, and we got a really killer lineup that I'm super proud to have because I feel like it's a great sort of splash back into the pool that we've been away from for a few years now.
And I'm going to get into that. And another thing is the venue this year is fantastic. We love Pier 17.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
That's a great
rooftop,
spot.
what a view, and Brooklyn, whatever. It's going to be an amazing Elsie Fest this year. I want to go through these artists in just a moment, okay?
Please.
In a few moments, also want to talk about your new show that's coming up. And
There's so much to talk about.
He hasn't even read the
Elvis.
script yet. It starts in like a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Who knows what that is? That's not true.
There is just such a wonderful, wonderful tumble with Broadway and off-Broadway right now. A good tumble. It's a good thing. After pandemic, we didn't know if theater and the stage in New York City would ever recover. That was a sad, sad time. And I know pandemic is way back in the rearview mirror. It's not even of recent days. But we never thought it would ever come back. And now people are coming back to New York City in droves. They want to see these shows. Danielle, I mean, you're going to see shows like
I love it.
every day.
It's one of my favorite things to do. Go into the city, see a show, get a nice dinner. It's nice.
Yeah, I think we were just saying before this interview, like New York feels like it's sort of just awakening
Yes.
again. And there's this sort of vibrancy that I think we all felt was missing. I think a lot of, major metropolitan areas are, new places are opening. There was this period where all your favorite places were going.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's this, I think in the last year, I have new favorite places that have been open for like a year and a half.
New York, we love you.
Nice,
So
yeah.
we've risen from the ashes a little bit. And it's
Little bit.
exciting. Yeah, people are coming back to the the
It used to
machine.
be New York City smelled like urine and poo
And now it just smells like poo.
and marijuana.
Now,
Yeah.
Marijuana,
To varying degrees of control.
as you say, just New York City just add rain and it makes its own gravy. It's kind of a beautiful thing.
Wow, this is really selling New York City.
Yeah.
to everybody.
It's okay. I love New York City. Okay, so what are, in your opinion, because you are a theater nut, what are the shows right now?
Well, I mean, Elsie Fest is coming up, but that's another conversation. I mean, gosh, there are so many things about to open, and we're kind of in this crossover section. You're kind of post-Tony season, so I'd be remiss not to mention my own show, Maybe Happy Ending, which is opening in the fall. Of course, I'm biased, but I don't know. I mean, if I'm going to shout out one thing, it did very well last year. It was a sort of less of a musical, more of a play with music, and also the gentleman who wrote the music is going to be performing at Elsie Fest, so I'm going to tie it all in together. Stereophonic, if you haven't gotten a chance to see Stereophonic, I'm proud of my dual citizenship between the music world and the more kind of traditional theater world, and it's a really wonderful portrait of the recording process, the creative process. I think that's a really cool piece to check out if you haven't got a chance to see. Outsiders, very sexy. What is it? Hot Guys with Feelings. Isn't that a
Did you see Odd Man Out?
I haven't seen. I've been away, guys, because I was in Los Angeles.
Odd Man
for some
Out,
things.
very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. Did
It's
you
all,
see it
It's
yet?
all in the dark. No, I couldn't go.
Yeah,
but they extended the run.
You guys
Yeah.
are probably closer to the pulse than I've been because I've been away from the city for a little bit, so I know what's open. So I'm actually kind of hesitating to give my opinions because
Okay.
So
I've been out of
Darren
the
and
loop a little bit.
Darren and I, back in the day, he would call up and go, "Let's go get drunk tonight and go see an interesting show."
Or it was either let's go see a show and we'd end up getting drunk, or it was let's get drunk tonight and then we'd end up we'd end up. I'd say let's go see a show, but we'd get drunk, or I'd say let's get drunk and we'd end up seeing a show. It'd be one of the. I didn't know they would be together.
But we saw some good shows.
We did see some good shows together.
Glenn Close.
Sunset Boulevard.
Remember? And we went backstage to meet her.
Yes.
And then they thought I was going to stab her. Do you remember that?
Someone
tried to kill her.
kind of vibe were you
Someone
getting
tried to kill her the night before, and they looked at me
What?
like I don't know.
Oh my!
Wow,
you have
I
that
don't know
look.
what to say to that. I was like, Elvis, what? I think Glenn Close was just happy to see you, but maybe that's just your default assumption when you meet people as fabulous as Glenn Close.
But that was our thing.
But
That was
it
our
could
thing.
be your thing again because now he's in New York.
It's back again. I haven't seen you in so long because again the pandemic was wacky.
You've got a lot going on. Okay, let's talk about your bicoastal thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Los Angeles. Now you're on your 11th apartment in New York City because you're back for the show and for Elsie Fest.
It's crazy.
Is it 11 apartments in New York
That's
City?
crazy.
It's crazy. I do not recommend it. I do not.
No.
Guys, I wouldn't say that I'm like a pro now at moving, but I definitely qualify for like the minors for
Do
sure.
you just get like a furnished apartment, or are you actually moving your stuff back and forth over and over?
I don't want to bore our listeners with the nuance and complexities of the answer to that. It's tedious, annoying, and like the storage units, the borrowing of cars, the whole thing. Moving in New York City is its own circle of hell.
It's monstrous.
That I have I have all the codes.
Well, I'm glad we haven't talked for a while. I didn't want to help you move, so thank God for
Yeah,
that.
exactly. You don't. This is such a tedious conversation to go into. But if you've ever moved in a major city, New York is probably one of the hardest and worst to do it in, let alone several times in one calendar year, which I've done.
Just turning us on, Darren. Criss is here. We're about to talk about Elsie Fest, which you need to be a part of, and his new show, which is going to hit in October, I do believe.
Yes.
Being an actor on the West Coast versus East Coast. I mean,
Oh, boy.
and how it affects you personally. Which do you prefer, the camera in front of your face or being on a stage?
Well, I mean, this is entirely personal. I mean, I come from the theater, so obviously I have a yen for the theater, and there's a higher concentration of theater people in New York, which is not to say that I dislike Los Angeles. I've had the great fortune of getting to have some kind of career in film and television in Los Angeles, and it's a different vibe, apples and oranges. I mean, I prefer being on stage because I like people. I like human beings. Even me being excited about seeing you in person is like a direct extension of my preference to being around human beings. There is an immediacy to me, an inevitability that is required of the human experience, which is just being with other people, that theater is, and so I love that. Film and television is separate. It is inherently an impersonal, IMPERS, I know however you spell the rest of personal, impersonal art form, because you see it later. It's edited together by a sort of team of people, which again is its own beautiful art form. But you cannot deny the I don't know, the magic of being in person.
What about
Good
living?
answer.
Would you rather live here or live in LA? Which, if you had a choice?
It is. My life has been bifurcated between both personalities of LA and New York. If you have to choose, you're just screaming with privilege, because those are two of the greatest cities in the whole world. And I'm not going to sit here and give the age-old conversation of the two versus each other. They are both beautiful yin yangs that I'm always sad to leave, but always happy to get to the the one. It's
Wow.
like this.
You should run for politics. You really
Yeah.
answered that beautifully.
I'm telling you, well, they're
Diplomatic
both
answers
of the
here.
greatest cities in the world, man. It's like I love both of them dearly, and I wouldn't be able to live without them.
I want to go back to something you said earlier about people singing. Like, you can sing at Elsie Fest, you can sing along
Hell
with
yeah.
everybody, but you can't really do it when you're in the theater. Does that really throw you guys off when people start doing it? Because I've definitely been at shows where people start singing along.
Well, the intent is so pure that I'm never going to get mad at intent, even though it sometimes clashes with like protocol or
So you hate them?
no, not at all. I think it's very sweet. I think it just depends on the venue. It's amazing how venue dictates vibe. You could see the same show in different venues, and it yields different attitudes. It's like the difference between seeing a movie in IMAX in a crowded theater on opening night or watching it on a plane. It changes the way that you like the thing. It's a complete psychological sort of mind trick. So if you can displace that enthusiasm correctly, then you can encourage it for not only the performers but for the audience. So again, that's why Elsie to me was so important. Again, I was seeing I go to these small cabaret venues or these really dressed up venues, and I was like, this should feel like Coachella. This should feel like iHeartRadio Fest. This should feel like any number of these festivals where people come and are excited and sing along and scream at the top of their lungs. So
Then let's get into it.
Let's get into it,
Let's
baby.
talk about Elsie Fest. All right, so Elsie Fest is going to hit the rooftop at Pier 17. Tickets are on sale now. Right?
Yes, they are. Right now.
As we speak, at AXS.com. Anyway, so Pier 17, September 8th. That's going to be soon.
Yes.
But who's performing? Talk about it.
What I love about, so if you think about, if people are listening, they're like, they don't really know, it's like Broadway, so that just means people from Broadway shows. There's such a large swath of people who are known artists that have been influenced by Broadway. So if you think of like, this would be, grand hope maybe down the line. If you think of somebody like, The Who, Green Day, Bette Midler, Barbra Streisand, to Alicia Keys. When you think of all these people, what do they all have in common? They've all had ties to Broadway, and not small ones, like pretty significant ones. So my goal is to kind of make as big of a sort of spectrum of people from the Broadway world come together for this festival. So this year, we're lucky enough to have Lizzie McAlpine, who's such an exquisite singer-songwriter and has had such a wonderful wave of popularity these past few years. She's not traditionally somebody you would think as a Broadway person, but she's so outspoken about her love for Broadway, and she's always on Instagram Live doing covers of like deep Broadway things, even though she's like a beloved artist in the interwebs of in the streaming world and on TikTok. So having her as one of our headliners is really great. On the other side of that, we have Rachel Zegler, who is we know her from West Side Story.
Right.
She's about to be the new Snow White. She's coming to Broadway as Juliet and Romeo and Juliet.
We were just talking about her.
Yeah.
So, Jordan Fisher, who's kind of, my obsession is to sort of get as many cross-pollinating people as possible. We have Joy Woods, who's currently killing it in The Notebook, who was also one of the urchins in Little Shop of Horrors. Will Butler, who wrote the music for Stereophonic, also from Arcade Fire. We have
John Gallagher Jr.
John Gallagher Jr., of course, and he won the Tony for Spring Awakening, but he was also an American Idiot, and he himself is his own, he's a wonderful singer-songwriter, and he's going to be in the new Avett Brothers show, Swept Away. I get I'm tripping over myself because there's so many people. We've just added people for people who are a fan of the Descendants.
You said a few minutes ago
series.
the Who's going to be there.
Yeah, I wish. The Who's Who will be there. Yeah. We added if people love the Descendants from the Disney Channel, the new film Descendants: Rise of the Red. We have Darren Renee, who's in that film, and that's not stereotypical Broadway, but it's Broadway inspired, right? So that's kind of like the key. Sort of a descriptor is Broadway-inspired people.
So it's something you have to keep in mind. I'll take you back to 2021, the last Elsie Fest. And some of these performers back then, a lot of people had never heard of them, but they were just getting to know them. And now they're, right? The Cynthia Erivos of the world and the Leslie Odom Jr.'s of the world.
Leslie Odom was one of our first performers at the very first Elsie.
Titus Burgess was there. Leah Michelle was there. I mean, that was
2019. Can I tell you who was like at the bottom? I don't want to say bottom of the bill, but like I may have not mentioned them when we were promoting it in 2019. Do you know who was at our 2019 Elsie Fest?
You got to remind me.
Ari DeBose and Olivia Rodrigo.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Olivia Rodrigo was there for High School Musical, the musical of the series.
Right.
And Ari was there. She was performing. She was in the Donna Summer show. And it's amazing to see the places these people have gone since there. They were always stars, but it's interesting how you stick around long enough.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about this. The rundown for the run of show for this year. This year, these are the stars that if you're a Broadway fanatic or fanatic, all the above, you know who they are. If you don't know who they are, you will know who they are next year. I mean, that's why it's important to check out Elsie Fest on Pier 17's rooftop this year.
Yes.
And you can get tickets at axs.com, and it's happening September 8th. So I mean, you roll in, get your friends. I mean, I would buy a row if you can find one, and that would be awesome.
And it's a great way to discover new talent that you may not have known. I mean, it's been so fun watching these artists grow and kind of take over in their own way. But so often do I find people come to the show. One of my biggest compliments is they didn't know what they were getting into. It's like, oh, I didn't really know Broadway, or I didn't know this person. I came for this one person. But by the end, because I can rely on the caliber of talent for Broadway people just putting on an amazing show, I'm never worried about, God, I hope I'm not jinxing myself, about after the show people having an experience that was very unique to that show.
Please.
And people going, oh, I need to go see more Broadway shows. I had no idea. So-and-so, who's that? That was what a singer. I'm like, yeah, that's Broadway's deal, baby.
It's so much fun to watch the Elsie Festers. And there's a bar.
Of course there is. And we have Maurice Crisis there, who's always been one of our beloved partners for many years. We talked about piano bars. They're playing songs in between sets and everyone's singing along. It's just a big, rollicking good time for Broadway people and non-Broadway people alike.
All right, Darren, let's put you to the test. And then we're going to talk about your show.
Please.
Oh.
Finish the lyric.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Can you handle this?
The sun come out
Tomorrow.
Easy.
Oh. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
What a great song.
There'll be sun. All right, okay. Let me jack it up a little bit. Here we go.
There's no
Business like show business, like no business I know.
like show business, like no business I know.
Like, these are so easy.
Everything
these are so
about
easy,
it
huh?
is appealing.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
The truth is, I never
let
loved
you.
you.
The truth is cry now.
Okay, this is child's play. Hold on.
give him a hard one.
The old
Razzle dazzle,
razzle dazzle.
Very good.
razzle dazzle.
Get ready for me, love,
'Cause I'm a comer.
Yeah.
'cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my...
And you are.
I am. Aren't we all?
Don't.
Hold on. Here we go.
Whoa. Pump
Kinky
it up.
boots.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't tell you the rest of those. There you go. I'm sorry, Billy. I'm sorry, Cyndi
How
Lauper.
about
Stop.
To dream.
let him sing. Hold on.
Oh, it's Brian's version too. Brian Stokes Mitchell. That's one of the greatest recordings of all time.
I guess you know it.
The impossible dream.
Okay, Brian. Yeah, okay, here's...
Hello, young
Hello, young lovers, wherever you are.
lovers, whoever
I mean, I could have named the singers, the shows, the productions, and the composers of every single one of those. Me.
It's like his version of Are You
Where
Smarter
is
Than a
this
First
useful?
Grader?
Nowhere. That's a skill that I don't think I'll ever
I
be
know
called
you'll get this one because you starred in this one.
It's time for a holiday.
I wish I starred in this one. I didn't, but that's cabaret.
Yeah.
Life is a cabaret.
I saw you do cabaret.
I think you saw me as sort of a gender bendy a character in Hedwig and the Angry Inch,
Yes.
which cabaret also has echoes of and
Guess
celebrations
what? And
of.
that was a very delicate way of handling the situation.
But it's true.
But
That
I
was
just
one of the greatest shows ever.
and I just
Hedwig
turned
and the
60,
Angry
so I
Inch.
can screw things up.
Yeah.
That's all right. They have similar things. They have similar vibes.
I never played this for you.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Do you dare me?
That's you can if you want. That's my acoustic cover of this song titled.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
Yeah, that's my acoustic mellow version
Hope is
of
high and life worth.
Les Mis.
You came to my apartment one night with your guitar and you sang this to me and my dog. Do you
Really?
remember that? You did.
I think I was probably on something. I don't remember that. Of course I remember that. When you describe it, it sounds so much more sultry. You came to my apartment.
A little
and
romantic.
sang this to me.
Well,
Although
my
I feel like I was
dog.
probably like drinking with you, and I was like, I'm probably
actually-
playing by myself in a corner, and you probably witnessed it, as opposed to me like,
No, you played it to me on your phone. Anyway.
oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. See, I knew there was something wrong there. Yeah.
Nothing romantic there.
Darren.
All right. Darren, Criss. You know, every once in a while a song will come out. For instance, have you heard the new Lady Gaga Bruno Mars song?
No, I was on the way over here. I actually wrote down to myself like, "Oh yeah, new Lady Gaga."
Did you hear it?
No, I haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
Such a good song.
Honestly, you know what happened? I was in the car and I saw it on my phone like notification. I was like, I'm not going to listen to this until I have really good headphones.
One of the comments on the text was, "This would be perfect for Glee."
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things would. We did all the hits.
That's
like,
it.
I mean, there's such a. By the end of the year, there's like a good 20 songs that I was like, yeah, I probably would have sung this on Glee. I probably would have thrown this, or would have asked for it. Like,
Do you
there's
talk
so
to
many.
Cord Overstreet?
Of course I do.
Love
We love
our
Cord.
Cord.
I
Love
think he's
Cord.
here somewhere.
Cord now, yeah. Cord has a place now.
But we have a problem. Cord and I go out and we get snot slinging crazy.
You go out with other Glee cast members other than me? I thought we had something unique and specific to our relationship.
I'll three-way you boys.
That's
Whatever you want to do.
Oh, gee golly whiz, Mr.
Wow.
Mr. Duran. Boy, what an honor.
Daddy will double up. Okay. So Darren Criss
Don't flatter yourself, Toots.
on Broadway. One of the reasons he's back here in beautiful New York City is a show called Maybe Happy Ending. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is it taking you everything to not make a dirty joke about that?
Yes.
Is it
No.
just, are you holding back? I mean,
We
you've
got it
already-
all out before you
Yeah.
walked into the room.
Okay,
It's
good.
true.
I mean, it is inevitable, so let's just peel that Band-Aid right off as fast as we can.
So I read the synopsis for this show that you're in, and I'm thinking, wow, someone was going through Gandhi's stash
Where's this going?
and came up with this incredible storyline where, correct me if I'm wrong, two obsolete retired robots, which you are one of, strike up an unexpected friendship that might even be love
Wow.
in Seoul, South Korea, in an apartment.
Yeah.
Explain this to me.
Well, it's
It's a fair question.
well, I mean, you know a thing or two about being obsolete, Elvis. So I think there's other than
goodness.
being in Seoul.
Damn.
Burn! Hey!
The difference is I'm obsolete and I have no soul.
Stay for the jokes. No, it's well. First of all, it's a wildly original show, which, and this is not to poo-poo any of the shows that have perhaps more familiarity. We were talking about The Outsiders. There's a lot of shows that are based on films and music and just books and IP that we're familiar with, because putting up a Broadway show is hard. So you want to be sure that there's some kind of familiarity. This is a huge endeavor because I have to do that thing that most artists have to do when asked about their project, which is try and explain it. It's not like, oh, of course, Cabaret, I get it. Oh, of course, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, I get it. Little Shop of Horrors. This is, like you said, this is a unique little story about, it takes place 100 years in the future, about what happens when our technology becomes more humanoid and what happens when we're a little more, if the Siris and the Alexas of the world become actually more human-like. When they become obsolete, what do we do with them? We have a hard enough time throwing away old sweaters. How do we feel about something that is more like somebody you have a relationship with? And so the show takes place in sort of a retirement home for these obsolete, helper bots. and they're coming to grips with their own, I guess for lack of a better word, mortality. And they kind of meet under these funny circumstances, and they hatch this plan to find their previous owners. The story starts with, I play this helper bot who's like a Model 3 in a world of Model, like, I don't know, 15s, who's kind of wasting away in his little, like, I don't want to call it a cell by any means, but his little spot. And the story starts where Oliver is just waiting for his owner to pick him up.
See, if you put it that way, it's a genius move.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote this, fabulous.
I think also when they wrote this story, things like AI were something of a sci-fi concept, and now it's much more common for people to understand. All generations understand AI's impending and current, utility, and all the scary things about it, and all the kind of exciting things about it. People are aware of, and this kind of explores a lot of that and a potential future that we might be facing. But again, we have a musical about two helper bots in Seoul, Korea, 100 years in the future. I get excited about things that I go, wait, I've never heard anything like that before.
That's the thing.
And
it's someone who can actually spark this story. I find that fascinating.
There's so much I want to say about the show, but I get conscious about time and everything that we have on Live in the Air. But the bottom line here is that it is, again, wildly original, and to me, a really exciting piece of theater that is directly. I was going to say antithetical, but I don't want to antagonize any of the other shows that perhaps have a bigger familiarity. I think it's just a great counterpoint, a great counterweight to things that people are familiar with, and to take a chance on something new. And also, here's the ace in the hole that I think I'm going to try and promote as much as I can. This is going to be a spectacle and a half.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I think people think this is going to be a small, cute little show about robots in the future. This is a I can say balls to the walls, like spectacle in a way that, in the 80s we had Miss Saigon and Phantom of the Opera, these huge theatrical spectacles that, like, when you went to the theater, it was like, whoa, how do they do that?
And this will rival that?
I think so.
Will there be a chandelier?
Oh, wow.
I think there will be something like a chandelier that will be the new version of, like, oh my God, like that's the big thing to see on Broadway.
Well, challenge is on. I can't wait to see it.
When is it open?
October.
Yeah, October. It was previews, and then we open officially in November. So
you should probably read the script. What do you think?
I should probably read the script, listen to the music. No, the music's fabulous, and then I get to be, guys. This is my second time at the Belasco. My name is on the marquee right now. I'm West 44th, just a couple blocks down, and I'm sharing the marquee with a young new starlet, Helen J. Shen, which is really exciting because I guess this is the first time I've ever been like the veteran in the cast.
But hey, veteran. Darren, Criss, what's it like to drive through the Broadway district of New York City and see your name on a marquee again?
It's exciting. It's
good
always,
for you.
It's always beautiful.
You ready to put your feet back on the stage?
I'm so excited. I'm really excited for people to see this show, and I'm excited for people for it to finally be out there and word of mouth to get around, and I don't have to do all the legwork of like trying to explain what this show is. It's like trying to explain Phantom of the Opera, trying to explain Dear Evan Hansen from from nothing. It's kind of a pain. Whereas once people see it and understand what this is, I'm so excited to be showing up for it every day.
Maybe happy ending. Previews start October 16th. Opening night, November 12th. Of course, congratulations to Darren. And, of course, ElsieFest, AXS.com. That show's coming up September 8th. You better hop on that now. It's going to be an amazing day.
Are you going to be there, Elvis Duran?
I hope so. I
lie to me.
Say you're going to be there. Let me look at the calendar.
The whole show will be there.
Yeah, of course. Everybody will be there, right in the front.
We'll get some free tickets.
Right in the
it's
front
a Sunday.
row.
Oh, we're in town. Huh.
I love that you're checking right now. Aren't you live on the air?
Oh, that's right. We're live on the air.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm always so happy to be here. Thank you for always including me in the fam.
And all the info about all of the above we'll have at Elvis Duran Show on Instagram, so there's no problem. Darren, Criss, fabulous.
Thank you, my friends.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.